Hey, what's up? It's Achilles, and today we're playing some ranked games on Koala. So I'll do a brief, breakdown of what the leader does. It'll be quick, and the cards that I've changed. If you want to see the video from before when I was just testing out, go ahead and look on the channel. It's definitely there. But if you don't know what Koala does, it has two effects, two very strong effects. But both are both with their faults. So the very first effect is when your opponent plays an 8 cost, or they play a character that plays another character, or if another character comes out of another character's effect, then they lose a life. Or I guess that's the second effect. The first effect is if you have two characters with 8 costs on the field, you get to draw a card. So late game, if you have two cards on the field, you have to swing at leader, but you get to draw a card. By doing that, this has to make you like choose, because most of the time you need to go into board, and you don't want to give them a card. But in order for yourself to get a card, possibly a counter or a play or anything like that, you can always swing Koala first into leader to get your free draw. And yes, this will come with downsides. Good thing about Koala is most of her characters that you play, even though they say 4, they're really like an 8 or 8 cost, so you don't have to really worry about triggers for the most part. But there are some triggers that still can reach you, like rest all or something like that. So you get to draw a card, find plays, do things like that. You punish your opponents for playing big cards. Yellow and black are kind of really punished. If they want to play Rebecca, they lose a life. If they want to play Yamato, Ace, anything that heals them, they basically get that card to their life. To their hand instead of to their life. Now, one thing that I saw like in Rayleigh is being more popular. So just to help clear the board out, you have the Sabo from OPO7 secret. It KOs a 5 and a 3 cost. So without any reduction, this card is really good into Rayleigh, Zoro, even decks like Green Zoro. So it's good into Red Zoro, but Green Zoro and other green decks that play like Smoker and things like this is a good 9,000 power body that can KO one of their 5 costs and maybe a 2 cost blocker. So this one's really decent, as well as playing Stussy out. We're playing only 1 of Stussy and 2 of Sabo. Stussy is really good on just cracking back into something that's a real big threat, and you're able to play out your searcher, which for some reason I've been able to get them on the same turn, have a Koala and then KO it with Stussy a lot of times. So it does come useful in that way if there are a lot of bodies on your board, because your dragon played out a lot of bodies. You can use your Stussy KO, kind of clear out the board and clear out your opponent's board as well. So those were the major changes that I made, just to let you see the on curve. Ultimately you want to go second, I would say, with this deck. You have no 7 Dawn turn play, but you definitely can play your 6 cost, because playing your 6 costs out gets you to heal or rip cards from their hands, and if they do KO them, you can always play your dragon afterwards to bring that same card back if you don't have another one in trash. So 7 Dawn turn isn't horrible, and you get to swing 6 with lead, so it's not bad. It just doesn't feel as great playing out maybe your Karasu at 5, playing out one of these on 6, swinging 6 with your lead and drawing a card. Not horrible, definitely not horrible. Definitely a good play, but ultimately you want to go second on your 4 dawn turn, play out hack. If you can't play hack, maybe Morley, just to get an 8 cost body on the board, and then play your Mihawk and Nico at 6, and then swing and then drawing a card. So as early as turn 3 on when you go second, and turn 4 when you go 7 is when you're able to do your leader's draw effect. And that's ultimately what you want. After that, after the 6 dawn or the 8 dawn turn, it's really just playing how many dragons, Kumas or Nikos that you can get out on the board. We have some good searches. We do have 2 4K events, 21 1Ks and 12 2Ks. So we run a lot of counter in this hand. This deck is really about getting to late game and outlasting your opponent with your draw and your heals, just outlasting them, outgrinding them, keeping a bigger hand in them, and denying them from getting cards in their hand with the Nico Robin, as well as with the Kuma putting pressure onto their bodies. And most of the time people are afraid to keep 5 cards in hand, so they'll stay at 4. So that'll be even easier for you to either swing into their bodies or swing into life, putting pressure onto them, because you'll swing into them and then they'll try to play out as many cards as they can to just not hold cards in hand, and that'll limit their counter. So there's a lot of different ways you can play against your opponent, and your opponent can try to counter you out. Let's go ahead and get into these rare games. Alright, so now we're going into our first game, and it's against the big boy Silver Rayleigh. Now, in this matchup, you want to have Hack and maybe Robin. Kuma is great to have. The one thing about not mulling to get in here is that I don't get a 1 cost on the board just to help deal with the little small bodies that they play out. Normally, if you get your searcher out, they can kind of help clear the bodies that you get. I did get a bunch of 2Ks, and I grabbed another 2K off of that, which will help me stay pretty healthy. You definitely want to stay healthy against them, just because they like to go aggro, and if you can make them go out of steam, I think just playing a game of attrition is really good against them. The good thing is we don't have any slash, so that buggy will be able to swing into and get rid of him. Alright, so he took the observation hockey, which is a really great defensive card for him, and the Gum Gatlin, King Kong Gatlin, which is very aggressive card for them. And we're grabbing another 0 cost event, swinging 6 at us. We go ahead and give him no, we don't give him, we're gonna give him a 2K regardless. We'll go ahead and give him 1 here. Maybe we should have gave him the 2K there, but we were hoping maybe to get a 1K. We don't get that, we get another 2K, so we get to drop our hack, clear body, and we're good. Now, normally we don't want to block with this hack this turn, if we don't have to, if we're not afraid of game, just so we can get an extra draw here. It also doesn't look like we have any dragons, and we're not able to set up our trash. Even if we did have dragons, we do have tons of counter in hand. So just depending on how he wants to swing here, we may take 1. Yeah, we may take 1, and that first one may not be bad, but it all depends what he wants to swing with next. And then we get our second Sabble, which is actually really good in this matchup. We won't block, we'll counter and see if they want to swing with the next card. They do play out Luffy. Now, some people will play out Luffy and not play out another card. There's a possibility here. He is confirming to get the extra Dawn attached, and yeah, he didn't play out a card here, which isn't bad. Like I understand it. You don't want to take the life, especially when you're at 5 life. Well, I feel like at 5 life you should be okay with it. We're gonna go swing into body again. So we're not gonna get our draw here like we wanted to, and I think either I realized my mistake, but also if we were to swing into body and not into life, there's a lot of things on board that we have to worry about or deal with. So I think we just get rid of board here, and we always have future turns after this to swing into face to draw those extra cards. We don't have too much in trash, and we have lots of counter in hand, or a good chunk of counter, at least against this deck. So for sure the Luffy's gonna get +6. We have a 5k swing, so 5, 6, 6. We know he's gonna use one of those Dons. He does swing 6 here, and we can either counter, yeah, we can either counter or block here. I think maybe the counter would have been better, and then blocking the 5. I mean, it's the same thing, right? Same cards, so that doesn't matter too much. We do get rid of a Karasu. I think maybe, yeah, because we know we want to play the Sabo next. And yeah, he plays a Sanji out with only 2 bodies on the field. We don't have much to dragon with. If we wanted to, we have all our top end here, so we're just gonna go ahead and pitch the Stussy. There we have a AK body, so we're gonna go ahead and swing 5, just draw a card, and there's our dragon. Lots of top end here. He has tons of cards in hand. We're definitely wishing we got a Nico here. Where are you, Nico? Definitely would make this match a lot easier. I think Nico is definitely the card you want to play in here, just because they try to keep 2 events in hand, and if they pitch, or if you make them pitch, they're gonna try to still keep 2 events in hand, so you can easily track their hand with playing out so many Robins and stuff. We didn't get any searchers. That's gonna make this a lot. That's gonna make it tougher. But let's see what he draws out here. We do get a Luffy, and let's see. He has a lot of cards in hand. Does he want to cheat out a body? He does cheat out a body and search another card in hand. So now we have to go through Buggy's effect after Luffy's effect finally resolved. Now he's looking at the top 5. He gets a Conqueror's Hockey, which not really too scary with us. But not seeing Akuma is also a big deal to us. He does swing 6 at our body. We give him a 2k. We don't have too many cards in hand. The Kid Killer, definitely not expecting that at the moment. here comes the Kuma. So this would be hard to say, but I think we just have to. And it's crazy to pitch the Kuma, the only counter in hand, but we're definitely hoping to clear his board here and just make it hard for him. And we'll just swing. We don't want to swing 7, just in case. And we do get a search card. We were thinking about maybe the counter event, which we didn't get, but I think right now we just grab a 2K. He knows we have at least a 2K in him, which he probably thinks that's all we have. I mean, if we let our Karasu die so easily, then he knows we don't have a 2K. He might think we have a 1K, but we also used the 2K when we could have used just the 1K. So he should know we only have a 2K. But he only has one swing. And gum mole. And he gets some more bodies out on field. Yeah, nothing we can do about that. 7 into 4 with just a 2K. But Sabo has done a lot for us. We'll see what he wants to do. He swings only 5 since we don't want to go down, and we're gonna heal next turn, which is hard because it's like if we want to do the Kuma's effect and keep the dragon, that means whatever card we draw will have to go to trash. And he is filling up the board quite well. It is a hack. Hack is a good card to play here, but we're gonna swing 9 into body. Don't want to give him the cards. Definitely want to get rid of cards on board, and we are going to definitely heal. Probably should have put the Sabo back, but we didn't. And yeah, we're gonna play out the Kuma. We'll trash a card, gain a card. We have 3 8K bodies on the board. We're gonna swing 6, maybe swing 5, but just pressuring 2Ks is not bad, and we grab a 2K. We still leaving 1 up because we haven't seen the event. It's not in our trash, so it's somewhere either in life or in our deck next to draw. But now we have big bodies for him to have to deal with. Now he has to do all his effect and add cards and play cards to kind of reach that 9K body. That's another great thing about Sabo. He is at 8-9 instead of the 8-8. So we're just checking trash now while he plays, just to see if he doesn't KO our Kuma, which he probably won't KO our Kuma. What card do we want to grab? And I'm thinking hack, just to get a blocker on board and be able to apply pressure and defense at the same time, help clear bodies. We see that he used his Gum Gatlin there, powering up her to 9, and then attaching it on, powering up to 10. We do have the counter 2K. This will force him to jam a lot of cards on Rayleigh to either commit or swing into life. We only have 1 card in hand. He goes up to 10 to force a 2K out. We give him the body, but we still have 2 big bodies on board. He plays a Sanji out. And now he only has 4 cards in hand. With just the 4 cards in hand, we definitely want to play a Koala, see what we get. Grab a 2K, so now we have some counter. We only have 1 8K body on the board at the moment, so we don't want to swing our Koala yet. Or we could swing the Koala first, see what we draw. But we're gonna go ahead and swing. Oh no, we can't swing the Koala without playing anything. And yes, he minuses 1K from us, which still means he has to give us quite a few cards, and that just gets us the drop. I'm not adding the Sabo back. I should have definitely added that Sabo back, both of them. But we're adding searcher events, and yeah, we get to hack out. We'll go ahead and add a Don. If he wants to swing with he can only swing with one of the characters, and that 5K swing brings him down to nothing. So I have 3 lives, he has 3 bodies. I have a blocker that KOs one of his characters. This isn't looking too good for him. Maybe if he does unblockable, but even if he does unblockable, I still am very okay here. 2 kid killers at best. He does have the gum Gatlin, which is fine because we'll just KO hit whatever he swings first and block. So he'll swing 6 at us. We'll block, give him a card. That could give him 1 more rusher, but now it's not enough. He's playing out the searcher, and then it's pretty much GG's from there. Yeah, and he KOs. He did have the kid killer, so maybe if I didn't block, if I was saving my block for the last one, maybe he could have got me, but definitely not. Now we're looking at the Bonney, and this is one deck that I do not like playing at all. But we're gonna go ahead and play her. We drop a searcher and we keep our hand because we have a Kuma and Karasu. So in decks that love big hands, Karasu is definitely a keep. Robin as well, but Karasu is great because it's something that they have to attack into, and it puts the pressure that you're missing whenever you play the Bonney. This is hard. Do we get the definite counter, or do we get the 9 cost? And we get the definite counter here. Again, just so lucky to grab all our 2K Kumas. She's swinging 6 at us, drops a kid killer down and leaves 1 up. Leaves 1 up, and we get a dragon, which is gonna be great for us because if she does get rid of our Karasu, we're able to bring him back with the dragon. And he's already pitching a lot of cards, and I don't know if that's just because he's trying to get below, or if he doesn't have anything. He does play a Bonney out, or he does tap Bonney for his effect and finds a Bonney and plays it and searches, finds an Apu 2K searcher, plays out another Bonney and searches, which is insane to me. That's 3 of them that I have to deal with. Swings 5 at us. I think I'm okay with taking this, but I don't hate. Yeah, and we get a trigger, and it's the 4th Kuma. And nice. Better yet, we get our Nico Robin, which is beautiful in this situation. He has 7 cards in hand. We'll make it 6. And just trying to decide, maybe I shouldn't have attached one. I was just thinking about swinging into their leader. Now with a Bonney, she'll be able to rest my leader, and I won't be able to swing into leader to draw that extra card, which is fine. It's crazy that he saved one of his Bonnies. Insane, actually. He was able to save both of his Bonnies with a leader effect, but we're gonna make him pay. We're gonna make him trash a card, and now we see that he got rid of a Shanks, which means he either has a lot of bricks in hands right now, big bodies that he couldn't play out early. So now I'm thinking about what I want to do here. I can always pitch Kuma for counter and then play the dragon out to play that Kuma out. Just so many Kumas in hand. So we see that they got another Bonney searcher, and they play out a Tashigi, which is interesting. I know I do have some KO in here, so yeah, I wouldn't be able to with them swinging out the Koala, I'm able to counter, get the Kuma in trash because I didn't counter earlier. And it's unfortunate when I see the Sabo is when he drops the Tashigi. He just had some insane vision there. And I can't pop the Tashigi. I can get it rested. Which isn't a bad play either. But with the Karasu, I want to see how I want to swing. He has 4 cards in hand, so the Karasu effect is not live. I can swing Nico Robin. He doesn't have anything rested. So if I swing this Koala, whatever I swing, I need to get rid of these Bonnies. I can keep them and let her keep cycling. Yeah, and then she's gonna rest the Karasu. I can now swing the Koala, get rid of the Bonnies, and now since I can't swing with anything else, we can try to make him get 5 cards in hand. We drew the card. Maybe if we would have just swung 5 instead, it may have been better, because I might have been able to do a search, maybe find a Robin or put a Robin in trash. But now, yeah, we get to go ahead and just trash the search. The Tashigi is still on the board, so I can't use the Sabo. Sabo may have been the better pitch. But he decides to freeze, but he is going to take a life for that. I cannot swing with leader. Pretty not good. He does swing, and we can actually start taking life now. And we'll counter out. We do find another dragon. We have 2 bodies. Well, actually 1 body we can swing with here. And he does have quite a few cards. I'm thinking maybe getting out a blocker. This was a mistake. Should have swung 8 with the dragon. Definitely the better play, but we do get 2 1Ks. I think swinging with the dragon there definitely either gets him down to 3 cards, or we take that Cavendish. So that was definitely a mistake on my part. Definitely could have added a Don there, but here seeing him play all those 1Ks, we could just add 4 Don, 4 or 5 Don, swing 7. We get a 0 cost, bringing them down to 2 cards, 5 cards in hand. Searching for a blocker was the plan. But we do get a dragon. We do have a dragon, but we're gonna be greedy since we have 3 life. Yeah, that was definitely a greedy play there. He gets to pop a card for free, but he also gets to lose a card playing the Shanks. So with him doing that, I feel safer than I was before. He does swing 12 into the Kuma, which was very interesting. He swings 6, restands 2 Don. We definitely have counter for that. And yeah, he's gonna swing another 6. We have counter for that. And now we have counter for days. Just looking at the board, he does have 1 Don up, which means we have 1 swing. So we'll go ahead and just swing with our biggest body and see what they do there. They give up everything, which now lets us know that we could just swing 5 and 7. Yep. And we had a Karasu on top life, so that would have given us a blocker. So yeah, that's how that game went. And then for our last game for today, I did want to show you guys a Zoro, but I only played 1 Zoro as Koala, and that was the very first game that I played as Koala. It was lower elo, and he did win. But after that, yeah, there were tons of Rayleighs, there was tons of other decks, but not too many Zoros. So we're gonna start off really aggressive against the Enel. The Enels are used to taking. That way they draw early, but ultimately Kuma is their only kind of low counter heal where they won't lose a life from Koala's effect. So and I think he takes his own life there. He puts a lot of cards in hand, and also playing a 3 cost out against Enel is kind of risky. If they play Kuzan, that could definitely hurt you. He has so many cards in hand. I think killing is a bit greedy here. I could always just drop another Karasu and just make him pay. First things first, let's go ahead and make him pitch some cards out of life. He does take one, or out of hand. He takes one to replace it. We decide to heal. I think the second Karasu isn't a bad thing, but putting the Kuma out on board is always great because we want and we have to swing into him, giving him his leader effect. But he does block and counter instead. We do just want to draw, and we're able to draw and get that waxing fist we were looking for not too long ago. So the Sabo is an 8 cost blocker. Not too bad. Not too bad. They draw a lot of cards here with that, but he's in a really hard position now because technically if he doesn't heal, I could go for game. And he plays out a Gadatsu. I think he either misplayed, miscounted, misunderstood how it worked. But we'll go ahead and take a life, and we get another body just to put more pressure on him. And I think we're actually good with taking another one. Stussy isn't horrible. Oh no, we can't grab Stussy, so Stussy goes to the trash. But we get both our waxing fists, so we have a lot of Dawn to play with. We don't have a Robin in trash, but we can go ahead and just pressure cards out. He has to give us a card and either lose a body or give us more cards. Enels love to protect their bodies, which we're okay with. We're gonna go ahead and just grab all the 2Ks out of his hand. Just seeing how much Don we have. Now we could play out another Kuma Raw and just leave some events up. Or we can definitely drop that Karasu out. With us deciding that we're not going to grab the dragon, we're going to go ahead and fish for counter and then just drop the Karasu again. Swing at life. This will give him a free cycle, which is fine. He gets rid of a Yamato, and we're just thinking that's because our leader effect he doesn't want to trigger. But he drops out another Sabo and swings 7 at us. We have tons of counter in hand, but we're gonna go ahead and just do a 2-1. Leave those waxing fists up. That makes him wants to swing 7 at us. We'll go ahead and give him one of the events, and he swings another 8 at us to either fish out that waxing fist for next turn or not. So we have the Karasus out. I think it may have been too late to drop that Karasu, and healing may have been a better plan, but us not healing may have made him play a little bit more aggressive. So we're gonna swing 9 at him to see if he'll take. There's always a world where he does get a draw trigger out of life, so we're just hoping our Karasu can get us there. And I think one thing I realized is I'm looking at that Sabo card and I don't see the blockers. And yes, beige comes out, so I don't see that there's a blocker there. So I'm thinking I have plenty of attacks, just these 2. I just need one to go through is what I was thinking to myself. He gives us an AK and I'm like, yeah, I can just throw everything and I'll win. He doesn't have enough counter, and I was like, oh shit, that's a blocker. Definitely my bad. It's like something in me knew it was a blocker, but he's been swinging with it, so and like I said, I don't see the blocker in the usual spot. So I think that's what really threw me off, but I think we're in a great position. Well, actually, we're not in a great position. It just depends on what he plans to do here. If he splits three ways, just depending on what my triggers are. I do have 8 Dawn. He does play out a Yamato and heals, which he loses that life after he plays it. So he just played out a vanilla 9 basically, and he decides to, and also he lost a life on his turn, so he doesn't get leader effect. And yeah, that's it. All right, so after playing a few ranked games and some locals, one thing that I would maybe try to fit in or add is just some cards to like counter Zoro. and I think one of those cards being Black Spiral. So because most of the time you're playing 8 cost is like the highest that you do play, having 2 Don up during the late game isn't a horrible thing. And especially since you're just gonna poke 5 at leader, draw a card, is not a horrible thing. You know, no Don investment, draw a card, and then leaving 2 Don up, that will minus 4,000 to your character for this turn. So you not only do you minus 4,000 power to them, but you can also negate their leader or character's effect, just making them unable to restand the Zoro. So this is a really good tech card against if you're playing against a lot of Zoros, and it also can help in other decks as well, because decks like Rayleigh may try to swing at you before doing their leader effect. Now you can kind of like just turn off their leader effect and stop one of their characters from coming out, or maybe even in the mirror match, well, not in the mirror match, but just in other matchups where the leader effect on your opponent's turn can be quite annoying when attacking Sanji Zoro, just things like that. So this may be a card that I might try to fit in, play around with. I have plenty of them, so we'll see. I'll play around with it. I'll make a video on it if it's actually worth playing with. And the next one is Liberation. Now this is gonna be like, instead of playing the Sabo out at a 8 Don, you do get to play a character out, but you do get to reach a 6 and a 4, which will reach other decks like Luffy, or when I say Luffy, I mean blue green Luffy, or blue purple, sorry, blue purple Luffy, no, purple grape Luffy. Okay, you got me. If they have like the rush card out, or if they have a Sanji Zoro and it's also original cost, so even if they do bump up the Sanji put in, you can still grab this. So this isn't too horrible text that I may try to put in just to help control the board, especially if you've already played like a dragon and a Robin, if you have those 2 bodies out, you may not be able to play the Liberation out. I mean, in the Great Luffy, they may have like 2 searchers, Sanji Zoro, Sanji Puddin, so it's still good because you do swarm the board a lot yourself, but this will also help against them when they swarm the board and just swing the momentum back your way. But I think that's it. If you guys have any advice, let me know. Till next time, we're out.